Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If our colleague really sincerely wants to improve healthcare issues, why not table a motion specifically on that issue today? It's a little bit like other Conservative motions that we've seen recently where they've made a link between crime and immigration. And today, once again, we see in a regrettable way, a link that they're making between immigration, healthcare, and crime. I think that it's particularly regrettable to see the opposition trying to bring these various ideas together. I'd like to ask my colleague on what data she's basing the links that are in the motion before us today, and how will this approach really improve public health care? I think that they're seeking to polarize the debate. I'd like to hear her thoughts. Thank you.
Member for Oshawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the member's comments, but I don't think that he's quite understanding. We have, as an educational therapist, we look for evidence-based solutions for things all the time. This is simply what this Conservative motion is doing, an evidence-based solution. The interim federal health program it's quadrupled. Okay, Canadians are having a hard time finding a doctor and getting care. It is a simple cause and effect. Let's help the Canadians that fund this system. Let's help the refugees who are here to seek help, and let's work on that together compassionately and fairly.
The Honourable Member for Joliette-Matawan. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Two questions for my honourable colleague. First of all, does she agree with me to say that in the question of asylum seekers, the main problem is the treatment delay, which is now over 40 months? In Europe, for example, where they also have a lot of immigration, a lot of effort has been put into place. In France, for example, the delay is 6 months. In Germany, it's 8 months. Should the government do the same here? And the second quick question is the last part of the motion, which says that it's important to pass policies to immediately expel foreign nationals convicted of serious crime in Canada. Right now, somebody who's found guilty of a crime has to serve their sentence in Canada and then is deported. And if somebody is sent to another country, we're not sure if they'll serve the time. What does my colleague think of that?
Sure.
I think I'll focus more on the second question, simply because I sit on the Standing Committee for Public Safety and National Security, and I speak to CBSA agents and others quite often who tell me that they're concerned by the amount of false claimants that are coming into Canada. And it feels like it's 1% that are really legitimate refugees. Now, when we juxtapose that to the fact that we have violent criminals who are not Canadians staying in Canada, there are 10,000 plus, I think, in the GTA, and right now we only have 7 CBSA agents who are actively working on inland enforcement and to make sure that we expel those. We need to do something about that, and we need to do it quickly.
Good answer. Questions and comments. Member for Sarnia and Lambton, Bickerswong, about a 45-second question.
All right, quickly, Mr. Speaker. It's clear that there are refugees that were not legitimate that have had their claims rejected, and when they get a letter from the government saying they're going to be deported, they evaporate into the ether. Maybe 500,000 of them. But this government is pretending that there isn't a problem. Why does a member think that they're so naive about the disaster that they created with immigration?
The Honourable Member for Oshawa.
The simple answer to that, Mr. Speaker, is that they're not naive. I think they know exactly what the problems are. I think they know what the issues are, but they do not want to admit that the Liberal government's terrible policies over the past 11 years have caused the problems. So to admit there is an issue would be to admit that they are the reason for it.
Hear, hear.